Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I'm coming to you with kind of a final thoughts video, if you will, on GarbAugust 2023. So this is not a wrap-up. I'm not doing a wrap-up for the month of August. August was a bit of a weird month, to be completely honest. Like, when I step back and think about it. Now, I read 13 books in August, which I'm not complaining about. I think that is absolutely fantastic. I read 13 books in July as well. Perfectly great numbers. But the thing is with August was a bit of a weird month. Like, if you guys have been following along with me, you know that I ended up, giving my resignation at my old job because I got a new job. I start that job tomorrow. This video is going to go up on Monday. It's being filmed on Monday as well, but it's going to go up on Monday. So on Tuesday, I start my new job at a new firm. Essentially, it's the same thing I've been doing. It's just at a new place. But over the past 3 weeks, I have kind of had that going on because I've been kind of finishing up at my old place I was working at, getting the files closed, getting stuff ready to be passed over to my coworkers, and kind of gearing up for this new job. So like I said, August has been a bit of a weird month. So I was a co-host for GarbAugust, which I absolutely loved. I love the reading event. I think it's so much fun, encouraging, you to read those books that you may think are, or you are concerned that other people think they're trashy. Maybe you yourself think they're trashy, but you still want to read them, which is perfectly acceptable. And I really had a lot of fun with the event. Now, I wish I could have participated more, but again, August, weird month. So I do have kind of plans for maybe next year. I'm hoping Ollie will ask me back to co-host again and be the official category romance queen. Because category romance, I think, would definitely fit under the category, under the banner of trashy type books, even though I will be the first to say they are not all trashy, but some of them are. Let's be realistic. And within any genre of book, some of them could be considered trashy. I'm behind on BookTube videos, but I watched one yesterday from Roy Reads Anything, I think, and he was talking about The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, which is one of my favorite books. I really, really like that one. Now, it's considered to be a classic, but for its time, it was considered to be trash because it was like the serialized book. So the way perception changes in time can definitely change things, right? So I think for next year, I would really like to try and dip my toes a bit more into the horror genre. I hear people really seem to enjoy these books, and a lot of the people that I followed, or a lot of my co-hosts for GarbAugust, read a lot of horror books, and it's something that I definitely think I would be interested in reading, and trying out. Like, I think I was talking to MJ, and neither one of us has read Carrie. I haven't read any Stephen King, but I know she hasn't read Carrie, and I think that would be kind of a dipping your toes in the water kind of an idea to start, because I think it's one of the tamer books by Stephen King, also one of the shorter books by Stephen King. I have seen the movie with Sissy Spacek. She was in the original, right? I think I've seen the original and the remake for some reason. But I do remember, seeing Carrie at this little theater for $2. It was one of those theaters in the area that, on Tuesdays you could go in for $2 and they'd play these old movies. And I think I remember seeing it then. But yeah, I mean, just to be able to really dive more next year into GarbAugust itself, because I feel like I couldn't do that as much as I wanted to this year. Really kind of plan ahead and, I know a lot of people were getting books and stuff, and I really want to try and do that next year and really kind of go whole hog into it, because I was trying to do GarbAugust, but plus trying to read what I would normally read, but I just thought, I think for next year, my goal is just to immerse myself in all the trash for the whole month of August, if at all possible. To a certain extent, because, you can't live off of McDonald's alone. You do need vegetables every now and then. As delicious as having, your breakfast from McDonald's is, carrot sticks and hummus are just as yummy. Actually, I really do like carrot sticks and hummus. So anyway, that's kind of my goal for next year, is to kind of start thinking about it now. If I'm at the thrift store and I see, I think And not that I'm suddenly going to start reading all these things like these, I'm suddenly going to become a horror reader, because I don't think that's the case. But if I think back to how I used to read way back in high school, I mean, I read Anne Rice. I mean, I read The Witching Hour. I read Interview with the Vampire. I read V.C. Andrews. I read the Ruby series. I read the Melody series. I know it goes by the last names typically, but the Landry. I read the Flowers in the Attic series. You know, I read Christopher Pike. I loved Christopher Pike's books. You know, I read R.L. Stine. So I read that stuff. You know, it's not like horror is something that's new to me. I mean, but the difference is with those books to, I think, more modern horror is the blood, guts, and gore, which is what I am not here for. I want spooky. I want stuff that, the hair on the back of your neck stands up. I don't necessarily want somebody being chopped to pieces. So if anyone has any recommendations, let me know, because that's more what I'm looking for, is the creepy factor, not the gory factor in horror. I really do like some thrillers, and some of those do have a, kind of horror-esque aspect. I just picked up a Riley Sager book that I'm really looking forward to trying in the month of October. I kind of want to step out of my comfort zone. And I think that's kind of the point of GarbAugust as well, is to encourage you as a reader to maybe try something that you might not have tried before. Maybe try reading a romance. And so many of my co-hosts read romance, and I'm so thrilled. And I'm so thrilled that most of you seem to like it. I think that was absolutely fantastic. It might not be your typical genre of choice, but at least you gave it a try. And, there's nothing wrong with that, because it's just a book. If you don't like it, you just put the book down. You're not out anything. You haven't, is it a waste of time? No, I don't think so. Even if you got 100 pages in and it took you a day, you tried it, because you don't know until you try whether or not you're going to like something. And I know that goes for me as well. And I think that's my big takeaway, is that I'm not disappointed in myself for this year, because I think there was a lot of other external factors happening with GarbAugust, like in the month of August, that didn't allow me to participate as much as I wanted to. But for next year, or if we do GarbAugust 2.5, which is like, I think it was like a weekend in, I almost said May, in February or something like that, where we'd take a weekend to read something trashy, and maybe that's when I'll read Carrie, is, if I can get to it in February. So we shall see. But anyway, you guys, that's it. I just wanted to sit down and kind of just give my final thoughts on GarbAugust, and, apologize for maybe not being as good a co-host as I could have been. But I promise I will do better for next year. And like I said, if any of you guys have any suggestions for something that might be just a bit outside my comfort zone, again, fantasy is something I don't really read. Science fiction is something I don't really read. So if those of you who read those kind of books, if you know of any gateway books, if you will, that, are not as sci-fi, as not as like these huge Brandon Sanderson, tomes of fantasy, but something to kind of dip your toes into fantasy. Maybe it's middle grade, maybe it's young adult. Do let me know. And then, I can try it, because I just love to read. And I'm always up for trying something new and something different. So anyway, that's it, you guys. Take care. Thank you all so much for watching. And until my next video, happy reading, everybody. Bye.